Donald Trump panicking on Monday like we've never really seen before. And that's saying something for Donald Trump, screaming suppression. They're suppressing the vote. Just more whining from Donald Trump. I think the only thing that's being suppressed is Donald Trump repelling the crowds, because we took a look at his speech in North Carolina earlier. It was like half empty. You take a look at his speech in Reading, Pennsylvania, stadium of about 8,000 people or so, also half empty. People are not showing up at the final speeches by Donald Trump. And this comes at a time as well where Donald Trump got some disastrous news in polls across the country, right? It started this weekend where you had that Selzer poll from Ann Selzer from the Des Moines Register, which has Vice President Kamala Harris up 3 in Iowa. You look at the crosstabs there and you see that white women and also white men are kind of breaking towards Vice President Kamala Harris in ways that we hadn't seen before, where those groups before were supporting Republican presidential candidates. And you also looked at a similar poll called the Port Hayes poll, which was out of Kansas, not getting the same amount of attention, but I think almost equally important. And they have the race in Kansas within the margin of error, within about 4 or 5 points, so maybe just slightly outside. But the fact that you're talking about Kansas being very close, I think that's an important data point as well. Then you had the well-known Nevada pollster, John Ralston. He predicts Vice President Kamala Harris will win in Nevada. Then comes the very big, credible national polls like the Marist poll, which is the YouGov Marist, which they have Vice President Kamala Harris up 4. Even Fox is saying Harris leads Trump by 4 nationally. They go as both candidates narrow gender gap. I think they had to give Donald Trump some spin there because that's not what the poll reflected at all. But you take a look at NPR Marist right here. You have Vice President Kamala Harris up 4 in that poll. But also when you go to the early voters crosstab, those who have already voted thus far, it's been like close to 80 million people who have early voted. Marist says that Vice President Kamala Harris is up 14 amongst that data set, amongst the group of people who have already voted. Also, you take a look at the Harris x Forbes poll, where Vice President Kamala Harris, this was a neck and neck one. Harris is up by 2. But here, when you look at the already voted crosstab, Vice President Kamala Harris up by 17 amongst voters. And we all know that there have been more Republican voters this time around. So is that trend, that political realignment that we've been talking about at the MeidasTouch Network, some have been calling it the Meidas voter, which is someone who just wants normalcy and democracy. Is that going to be the big factor in this election? Vice President Kamala Harris is closing her campaign with positivity, with love, of bringing people together, letting Republicans know and independents know they will have a place in her cabinet. They will have a seat at the table, that she has a to-do list while Donald Trump has an enemies list of retribution. Vice President Kamala Harris posts, "When you love something, you fight for it, and I love this country with all of my heart." We're also seeing the fallout from Donald Trump's awful Madison Square Garden event, where his speakers said heinous things about the Latino community, about the Puerto Rican community, called Puerto Rico garbage, Puerto Ricans garbage. Donald Trump says what a beautiful event that was. The utmost utter disrespect of Americans, great patriotic Americans. Donald Trump just spit on them. Spit in their faces, spit in the faces of the Latino community with days before the election. We're seeing that register. We're seeing right here that from the Madison Square Garden rally, the late-breaking Latino undecided voters moving now at least 9 points in favor of Vice President Kamala Harris. As I referenced before, empty stadiums, empty everything. Take a look. Empty outside. This is in North Carolina from this morning. Just take a look. There was supposed to be this overflow crowd. Watch what happens. Play this clip.
We need to unburden ourselves and get rid of the book.
Then going inside that venue, take a look.
Tomorrow, we will fix this country. We will elect Donald Trump as the 47th president
Vice President Kamala Harris is calling Donald Trump juiceless. Trump's crowds are dwindling as his campaign winds down. That's the New York Times headline. The Philadelphia Inquirer writes, plenty of empty seats in Reading Arena in Pennsylvania ahead of Donald Trump's speech. Also, have you noticed these notes going around? It's specifically being exchanged amongst women. Hello, lovely human. Your vote is protected and private. Your husband, wife, partner, family can't see or control your vote. Remember this on November 5th. Harris Walls 2024. Here on Courtyard Marriott, this was a posted note. I've been seeing these everywhere. No one knows who you vote for. Vote Harris Walls. Vote for women. CNN featured this undecided Latino voter in Nevada who says that he wasn't sure where he was going to go, but after the type of rhetoric, the scary and hateful rhetoric that Donald Trump and his campaign directed at Puerto Ricans and the Latino community, he said, I'm done. I'm definitely supporting Vice President Kamala Harris. Here, play this.
Anything different from the last time we were here?
A lot.
Saros is now voting Harris, and he says the racist insults at the weekend Trump event exploded on social media, triggered listener calls, texts, emails.
That alone flipped a lot of people that were going to go for Trump now saying, hey, maybe I'm not too sure. And maybe I'm going, with Harris. The rhetoric, whether directly from, the candidate or not, it's kind of scary, especially, for Latinos here in Vegas, specifically, my Mexican people.
He says, he doesn't know who allowed those speakers to speak at his rally.
Oh, that's BS.
That's BS.
That's BS.
Now, even just take a look at the speeches that Donald Trump is giving. They plant these people in the background here. They tried to plant a lot of young women to make it seem like Donald Trump has support. So they bring them in. And just take a look at how, literally look at this. Zoom in right here on every single person in the background. You can see what they really feel. And you can really see what the MAGAs really feel here. Let's take a look at what Matt Gaetz, one of Donald Trump's top surrogates, is saying right now. This is what he's saying about the election. The core plot of the Barbie movie was distracting men so they wouldn't vote. Don't make the Barbie movie come true. So you have Matt Gaetz, a Trump surrogate, saying that the Barbie movie is somehow harming Donald Trump right now. Tim Pool, who's is a MAGA propagandist, he says, Project 2025 will make it illegal for women to say they aren't hungry, but then take French fries from your plate. Weird stuff. Our editor-in-chief, Ron Filipkowski, posted this video as you have J.D. Vance, Donald Trump's running mate, trying to appeal to Gen Z young men. It's just bizarre. Let's take a look at the closing message right here. Play this clip.
This is a six-pack under the leadership of Kamala Harris. This is a six-pack under the leadership of Donald J. Trump. Let's make America great again.
I mentioned some of those other early polls. When you get down to the YouGov America New York Times poll, you see Vice President Kamala Harris ahead in Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, which is good data points as well. The Univision poll shows, as I mentioned before, Harris leading with Latinos 64 to 30%. 88% heard the joke about Puerto Rico, and 67%, which is roughly the percent that supports Vice President Kamala Harris, see it as a direct insult and as racism by Donald Trump towards the Latino community right there. I think those are all important data points as well. I showed you what Matt Gaetz said before, but remember what Matt Gaetz has been saying consistently. This was Matt Gaetz' recent message before the midterm elections. Play this clip.
Is it safe to say that based off of your comments, you're suggesting that these women at these abortion rallies are ugly and overweight?
Yes.
What do you say to people who think that those comments are offensive?
Be offended.
Our editor-in-chief, Ron Filipkowski, makes a basic point right here. He goes, look, Trump's own vice president will not be voting for him. Mike Pence, Donald Trump's former chief of staff, will not be voting for him. Donald Trump's former secretary of defense will not be voting for him. His former national security advisor will not be voting for him. His former joint chiefs chair will not be voting for him. His former attorney general will not be voting for him because he's dangerous and unfit for office. And we're just seeing this dangerousness manifest. Like earlier in the day, he talked about hitting Michelle Obama. Just watch him ramble and talk about hitting Michelle Obama. Play this clip.
Countries weren't accepting him back until I came. You know, with Barack Hussein Obama, I call him the Great Divider. He's the Great Divider. And he hit me. Oh, and Michelle hit me. I was so nice to her. Out of respect, I was so nice. She hit me the other day. I was going to say to my people, am I allowed to hit her now? They said, take it easy, sir. Sir. Take it. My geniuses, I'm telling you, they said, just take it easy. Well, what do you mean? She said bad about me. I can't hit back. Sir, you're winning. Just relax. Is that good advice? Is that good or bad advice? I think it's neutral. You know what the response is there? It's like, nah. What do the ladies from North Carolina think about hit back or just relax? Huh? Oh, they say hit back. You say hit back. I'd actually love to hit back, but we'll hold it a little while. We'll hold it. I'd love to hit back, but... Oh, no, she took some shots at me the other day. I said, whoa, what have we here? I'd never heard that before. I've always treated her very nicely. But he's the Great Divider. Barack Hussein Obama, he's a great divider.
Then he talks about having an app that goes ding dong, ding dong. Play this clip.
They have an app. Can you believe you call an app? You're now a drug trafficker or a human trafficker, and you say, ding, 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 hello? Where do I drop these people? Go about 7 miles up and then go a mile left and just drop them at the opening in the gate. Okay, can you believe this?
I mean, strange stuff. And we talked about his other behavior in the other videos where he simulates oral sex with the microphone. He threatens to kill Liz Cheney. You know about the comments with Puerto Rico. He told people to shoot at the media, or words to that effect. You'll have to shoot at the media to get me or something. Horrific stuff. Every single day it's been one thing over the next. Now calling for people to hit, or he wants to hit Michelle Obama. Donald Trump then writes, thank you, North Carolina. For the past 9 years, we have been fighting against the most sinister and corrupt forces on earth. Remember, Donald Trump says the enemy from within, and he has said in his speeches that he will turn the United States Army against citizens who he refers to as scum, and says he will do bloody mass deportations and turn the military to attack Americans. That's what he says. And he'll be a dictator on day one. That should be disqualifying. We don't do dictators here. We need him to turn the military on American citizens who he says are more dangerous than Putin, he says. Donald Trump is Putin's puppet. We know that, in my opinion, for sure. Here we have 78.9 million Americans voted, but this is one of the headlines on CNN. Trump is baselessly claiming the 2024 election is being stolen from him. Again, more whining by him. It's being stolen. It's being stolen. And I just think the message is getting through to Republicans, like this Republican voter over here from North Carolina, you know, who's a former Trump voter, who's just done. He's done. He goes, I'm repulsed by what the Republican Party has become under Donald Trump. This is the most important election of our lifetime. Watch this.
This is the most important election of our lifetime.
Scott Peoples is a self-described conservative, but he says he's made a point of voting early in North Carolina and casting his ballot for Democrat Kamala Harris.
Have just been turned away by what the party's become under Donald Trump and the MAGA movement, and kind of feel like our values haven't changed at all. It's the party's values that have changed.
Some other notable things that have Donald Trump panicked. Meek Mill, famous rapper, endorsed Vice President Kamala Harris on election eve, put out a new song. Puerto Rican rapper Fat Joe appealed to Latino pride. He slammed Donald Trump at the Harris rally in Allentown, Pennsylvania. Quote, I'm the guy you want to roast in the comedy club? Great, I'll laugh with you all the way. But the other day in Madison Square Garden, that was no joke, ladies and gentlemen. That was no joke. It was filled with so much hate. Hatred of Jewish people, hatred of black people, calling Puerto Rico an island of garbage. My Latinos, where is your pride? He says. So that's the update from now. More whining from Donald Trump. We should expect this to continue. Don't take any of these polls though just don't take them like, oh, whatever. No, now you have to work harder than ever to get out the vote and save our democracy. So please, as this video ends, I need a favor from you. I need you to go through your phone right now, and I need you to call everybody that you know or text anybody that you know that you're confident will support democracy. Let's see how many undecided voters or people who haven't that you can help get out. Millions of people watch these videos. 5 billion views so far in the MeidasTouch network. 1 billion views in the past 90 days. Let me repeat that. We've gotten 1 billion views in the past 90 days. So if all of those views are out there just getting 5, 10, 15 people, just think about the difference that you can make. But we all have to be shoulder to shoulder right now and be doing this together, right? Are we in this together? We're in this together. So here's what I need you to do right now. Look at your phone, Facebook, whoever, whatever. Text people, let them know, and then put in the comments that you've helped get people out there to vote, that you've helped come up with voting plans. Have you helped take someone in your family to the polls? Have you helped your kids, grandkids, parents, cousins, uncles, neighbors, whoever? What have you done? I want to hear about it in the comments right now. We can do this, people. We could turn the chapter, move forward with normalcy that we all crave. We're right here. We're right there on the goal line. We can do it. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Meidas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.